Just in case you don't watch the news, we are in the midst of the worst car market crash that we have ever seen. If you thought 2024 was bad, 2025 car market is even worse. Now, last year we saw vehicles up to $20,000 off MSRP from some brands. Right now, I'm seeing up to 40% off of MSRP. But what makes this even worse is dealerships, for the first time ever, are actually advertising their discounts, which is unheard of because they're so desperate to get these vehicles off the lot. Right now, brands like Ram, Nissan, Kia, Subaru, and even some Toyotas are bumping discounts through the roof. Here's what I need you to do to make sure you are getting the best discount possible. You need to go into that dealership and do your job to negotiate, but go to cargurus.com, check and see how long that vehicle that you want has been on the lot. The vehicles that have been on the lot the longest are the ones that are going to get the greatest discounts. You're going to go to CarGurus, pick the zip code, pick the dealership, scroll down to the bottom left, see how long it's been on the lot, screenshot that, take that with you to the dealership, and negotiate from that and say, hey, look, I know this vehicle's been on the lot this long. I want it, but I want it for the right price. Your job is to sell cars, and you're going to give it to me.
Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lumi, and today we're going to be looking at some more car market crash TikToks. So this one, I had no idea that this was, I guess, public information. Apparently there's a website where you can go to and I guess you could see like what or how long a used car has been on the lot at a specific dealership for. I mean, that's pretty good information. That's useful information to bring to the table, you know, and negotiate the price down. You know, because obviously the longer a car has been sitting there, the more they're going to want to sell it to you because as you heard from the previous video, like my part one of this whole thing, we saw that there was a video that said the dealerships have to pay a lot fee, or like a lot, I forget what he called it, but it's like they're paying interest on holding the cars on their lot, right? Because I don't think the dealership can afford buying the vehicles, new vehicles, you know, at MSRP. Like, I don't think they do that. They have some kind of like deal that they work with the manufacturers, and well, I don't know how it works. I'm not gonna act like I know, but yeah, no, it's bottom line, what you need to know is that they are losing money, obviously, the longer that a car is staying on their lot. So that's a lot of leverage that you can use at the negotiation tables. So I don't know, something to think about.
The Toyota market is about to flip. Toyota is doing something that they haven't done in years, and it is going to impact prices in a huge way. Let's talk about it. If you guys don't know, my name is Tommy. I used to work at the dealership, but now I negotiate car deals. Over 150 deals on a monthly basis, 50 to 90 of those being Toyota. So I'm very in tune of what's going on in the Toyota world, and I just got some news that I'm telling you that is going to impact prices like we haven't seen in years. Let me explain what's about to happen. Toyota has been one of the most difficult brands in the world to deal with right now. Part of the reason why they're so difficult is a lack of inventory. Toyota's not manufacturing enough cars. Because of this, dealerships feel entitled to add markup, added accessories, or just make it difficult to buy a vehicle, which is frustrating consumers. But it seems like Toyota is flipping their philosophy moving into 2025 because they are dropping the biggest allocation we have seen in the last 5 years, which is going to flood the market with cars. Let me explain how the Toyota allocation system works, because understanding this information can save you thousands of dollars if you're about to buy a Toyota. So Toyota breaks the United States up into certain regions, and every 2 weeks, Toyota allocates or gives a certain amount of cars to every region. I'm going to focus on the West Coast just so you can see how crazy this allocation is. Typically, the West Coast every 2 weeks gets anywhere between 4,000 to 8,000 cars, meaning that all the dealerships in that region share the 4,000 to 8,000 cars based on how well they sell cars. Now, this next allocation that they just announced is going to be 14,000 cars. This is 2 to 3 times bigger than any allocation that we've seen in years, which means the market is about to be flooded with new Toyotas. No, this is not just the West Coast. I have heard this from dealerships nationwide in every single region. This is going to be one of the biggest allocation that they have seen in years. And this is hopefully a turning point for Toyota where inventory will start to pick up. But as of right now, there will be inventory. So if you're looking for a certain Toyota or trying to get a great deal, this is the perfect time to start looking. Now, that being said, I don't know if this will continue. I hope this continues for Toyota because they need to fix their inventory problem. But this is one of the biggest reasons why you should understand the allocation system. So many people struggle to find the car they're looking for, not understanding that if they just wait a week, there's more cars that will flood the market. So once every 2 weeks, you should be checking the market if you're in the market to buy a Toyota, because you'll be shocked at the results you'll find.
That's a good point. I mean, this stuff moves pretty quick. If you're constantly looking, like don't feel pressured to buy something or lease something like right away. Like obviously, if you need it for work, I guess that's a different story. But if you can like hold out and keep your eyes open for like 1 to 3 months, you might get lucky and like, you know, time it right and get a better deal due to like the influx of new vehicles, you know, like he said in the video. Another thing I wanted to add is don't let your location, don't let that stop you from finding the car you want. Like, by all means, like look at your whole state. Like, go online. Like, there's tons of resources that you can use to find new and used vehicles all across the country, really. And oftentimes, if you're trying to get a good deal and you live in a city, look for a dealership outside of the city. Like, I'm talking maybe like an hour or 2 away, because more often than not, there's going to be a markup due to locality where you live. So if you're living in New York and you're trying to buy a car there, chances are you're probably paying like 10% more than you would at like, I don't know, some random like town 2 to 3 hours away that just so happens to have like a Toyota dealership, for example. So yeah, I mean, like always shop around. Never feel like pressured to just like stick to one thing. And same goes for like brands. I mean, like don't feel like you have to buy just from one brand. Like take a look at other brands. Like sometimes, you know, yes, it might not be the car you initially thought you wanted, but you might be pleasantly surprised. You know, like the thing that is the most important is like obviously the deal, right? You need to make sure you get a good deal, but you also need to make sure you like it. Like you got to physically sit in that vehicle. Like go to the dealership, sit in it, test drive it. Like there's so many like facets to all this that are super important when it comes to buying a vehicle. And yeah, I don't think doing it completely online probably isn't the way to go, because again, like you want to test drive it. Like that's super important.
They are pissed from what happened during COVID. Here we go, 2025 in the car business. It's going to be rough. I can promise you if we don't start changing as an industry. It's not going to be easy. The days of COVID are over. The market adjustments, the forcing of addendums and products and everything on consumers, that is done. I'm going to tell you right now what's going to make the difference in 2025. And you may disagree, and that's okay. If as an industry we don't get back to the basics, and I mean the basics, we are going to start failing. I'm telling you right now, if you're a manager out there listening and you look at your lot and it's not in order, and you look at your staff and they're not following the processes and procedures because, you know, they're still in their COVID days and waiting for customers and business to come in, you watch what happens. If you sit there and wait for business in 2025, it is not going to come. It is our job to start changing right now and get back to what made us all successful in the car business, and that is about customer service and customer satisfaction. We owe it to the consumer. You know just as well as I do that they are pissed from what happened during COVID. And a lot of those deals are coming to fruition, and we gotta start changing, and we gotta give customers a once in a lifetime experience every time. So that's my prediction for 2025. It's gonna make the difference. As a community of dealers, if we don't get back to the basics, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, this guy seems like a genuine guy. I mean, he makes some good points. You know, the days of COVID are definitely over. Dealerships now, I think, have to do a lot more to get people's business. You know, they're gonna start bending over backwards. I think it's really becoming a buyer's market. So, but I'm sure there's gonna be a few that are gonna see if you know that, because they're hoping that, you know, you walk into the dealership and you see that sticker price and you just say, "Oh, okay, I'm okay with that." You know, no, don't never take the sticker price. Always try to negotiate it down. You know, this is a major purchase. You know, sometimes it's probably like the second biggest purchase you'll make. Not once, but maybe a few times in your life, because, you know, cars don't last forever, but it will be, I mean, it's second to like buying a home, I would say, right? So, you know, take your time with it. Don't let them rush you. Don't, like, you know, do your due diligence, of course. Don't feel pressured. And, you know, obviously do your research. Like, watching this video is I would say some research. You know, it's making you more aware of what is happening today, you know. And that's extremely important when you want to negotiate a fair price. So yeah, I think dealerships are, if that's another thing that they could work on, is like making the whole experience more pleasant, because it is not a pleasant experience going to a dealership and doing these negotiations. It's really like it's really stressful. And like when I bought my car, I was there for probably like 7 or 8 hours straight, and I didn't even get to like eat lunch. Like, it was like, by the end of it, I was just like, I gotta get out of here, you know. Like, it was rough. And I think by the time I left, like, the dealership was technically closed. Like, it was so late. It was ridiculous. But yeah, no, these it's a big deal, you know. So I just want you guys to, you know, do your best, and don't let them push you around, because that's gonna be their first instinct. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was informative. I think these things are important to be aware of. You know, so if you got anything out of it, consider giving me a thumbs up. Dislike it if you dislike it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you guys in the car market right now? Are you shopping for a car? Let me know. What kind of car are you looking for? And consider subscribing if you enjoy this sort of content. But anyway, guys, I will see you in the next one. Later.